Hey there, welcome back to the Tamarack Trekkers. We're on day 14 on the PCT. It is April 23rd. Uh, Today was a bit of a different day. We were up, our elevation was quite high, we were way up. We had an 18.2 mile day, but our descent was 7,231 feet with only 304 feet of ascent in there.
And that may sound like a good time, but hang on.
No, it was very sore. Our feet were very sore by the time we got to the bottom.
Yeah.
The switchback seemed overly long. I think they could have probably cut some miles out of there easily, but anyways, it is what it is. We hiked 18.2 miles.
It was rocky terrain. There were some really overgrown brushes, so it really tired us out that day. But we still got to 18.2 miles. We intended on 22. Got to 18.2 miles.
Yeah. Once we got that far, we were done, and we just shut her down. There was water where we stopped, so that was a good place to end our day. And so that was day 14.
Yeah.
Day 15, which was April 24th, we started off, we got up in the morning, did a 3.8 mile day to the highway, which was highway Interstate 10, with the intention to hitchhike from there to Cabazon.
If any of you have ever seen I-10, from a distance, you can tell that this is not a highway to hitch on.
No.
So we were a little nervous going into it.
Yeah. So we were actually very fortunate when we got to the underpass at the I-10. There was a gentleman there named Alex, and he's a trail angel, and he was there just to give people rides to and from for resupply. You know, and we were just going to go to Cabazon, and he said, "Hey, we can take you all the way to Beaumont and go to Walmart if you want." And we're like, "Really?" So away we went to Walmart to resupply. And then while we were resupplying, he had to go and shuttle some more hikers around. So we went over to Farmer Boy, had a hamburger, some fries. The staff there were awesome. They let us charge our electronics while we were waiting, and it wasn't long. And Alex had come back, picked us up, took us to the trailhead, and from there we continued on. It was like noon, and we were already back on the trail. It was incredible.
Fully resupplied, almost fully charged with some of our batteries. But our phones were charged, which is super important for navigation.
Yeah, and so then we continued on hiking from there to mile 219.5 for a 13.8 mile day. And in that, there was a 2,556 ascent with a 1,795 descent.
And along some really cool, still desert-like terrain, but we saw some of the windmills that oversee, I think it's Palm Springs or Desert Hot Springs, not sure which one, but massive windmills over, and we followed along that line. The trail was quite nice until that evening.
And surprise, surprise, the wind came up.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, I took a picture of our tent. I kind of fortified it with rocks to try to block the wind because it was blowing so hard. The sand was coming into our tent. It was crazy. Yeah. So anyway, so hopefully Jody will throw a picture in when she does the editing on that.
Yeah.
And that kind of wrapped up our day, I think. So then day 16 on the PCT, April 25th, 2026. Our day started out pretty good. We got up, our tent was dry, we got everything going, and away we went.
Dry and sandy.
Yeah, dry and sandy. We had to empty the sand out of it. Things were good until we hit the Mission Creek washout.
Yeah.
And I'd heard about it. I knew that it had happened. I'd seen videos. I had no idea to the extent what we were getting into hiking in there. The trail was completely obliterated.
Yeah.
And for, I think it was 6 miles or so, we were hiking through boulders and big rocks and gravel and sand, and there was no clear path, and all we could do was follow the canyon until we got up to where the trail started again. And like I said, it was a good 6 miles, and
it was across this tiny little creek, dozens of times just to try and find a pathway through. It was very, very difficult.
But in the end, we got through it. We were trying to get to a campsite that was at around 235.7 or no, point 0.5, I think.
Yeah.
We didn't quite make it. We found a nice little spot to set up our tent. 234.7, which gave us a 15.2 mile day, which is still very appreciable considering the conditions we were hiking in.
And it was a 4,200 foot climb that day.
It was.
It was a really, really big climb. So we had that on top of it. There was some tears shed once we hit that tent site for me. Thank you for the end of day 16.
Yes. That wraps that up. Day 17, April 26th, 2026.
Elizabeth's birthday.
Yes, somebody very special to us.
Yeah.
So that day we hiked 2 mile 251 exactly. It was a 16.3 mile day, 4,282 foot ascent, and 1,703 descent.
And to note, like, we started the day with more of that Mission Creek craziness. Not as severe, I would say, not at all, but a little bit of that craziness. Plus, cold. How cold was it? Don't remember that. I might put it on the screen.
I think it was just above zero, or just above freezing at that time.
We had some drizzle and snow start on us throughout the morning.
They were calling for snow, and luckily we didn't get any snow that night. But it was kind of chilly. As we continued to hike, though there was a little bit of snow falling. We were in the clouds for a lot of it because we were up at 8,700 feet is where we kind of maxed at. We ended up camping at 8,400 feet. And at the end of the day, it was cold. The wind was blowing, and it got pretty cool as we were sitting there trying to make supper. So
that was shivering.
Yeah. So combining 2 big climb days in a row with similar mileage, we were tired. We were very happy to park the tent where we did. Yeah.
That was definitely a cold night of bringing your filter inside your tent and shoving it into the bottom of your quilt to keep it from freezing. Yeah. But that was day 17.
That was. Right, so day 18 on the PCT, April 27th, 2026. We woke up and the water in our bladder had ice in it. Water in our drinking bottles had ice in it. We're very grateful we did bring our filters into the tent because freezing them could have damaged them severely.
We hardly even ate breakfast. Like we had a bar to go because we just packed up. We put all of the clothes we could on just to get going. We had to get out of there.
It was cold that night. I woke up several times shivering and actually trying to cover a little better because of the little air gaps in my quilt. But it was a tough night. Like she said, we got up, we got going. I believe it was -6 overnight. Somebody else we talked to said -7 degrees Celsius. However you look at it, it was cold.
It was cold.
And then, so we got going, got moving, finally found some sunshine. And we stopped at mile 266.1 on Highway 18 near Big Bear. We got there. We weren't sure how we were going to get to Big Bear Lake. As we were sitting there, this lady pulls up. She lets her dog out to go for a walk and comes over and starts talking to us. The next thing we know, she's like, "Hey, do you guys want a ride? I'll give you a ride. I got to rearrange some stuff, but I'll give you a ride." So she rearranges stuff in her car, and somehow we cram in there. I don't know how because her car was full of stuff, but
I couldn't put my seatbelt on. It was
but
very generous.
Yes, but bless her for offering to drive
sweet.
us. Yes.
And her dog, the sweet princess, was on this pedestal seat in the front seat so that it could look out the window. It was adorable.
Yeah. So that was one form of trail magic we had, and the other one we had was as we were hiking along, this lady was just out hiking, and she had a backpack full of oranges, and she just was randomly handing them out to the PCT hikers. So she goes to give me 2 oranges, and I go to take one, and she goes, "No, take 2." And I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah. Never been so happy to get an orange in my life.
So that was fabulous. But I guess to wrap it up, we did a 15-mile day. I actually didn't write down what the ascent and descent was that day, but
I think I did either. That's okay. I can put it on.
But it was fairly relative, up and down, equal. I don't remember, but there was some climbing and some descending. So, but we were happy to get done and get into Big Bear Lake and get a room and
take our first 0.
Yeah.
So that brings us to day 18, which is our first 0. Actual 0 miles. Isn't it 0 miles? It's 0 trail miles. Because we did hike our butts over to the laundromat to get all this clean.
Yes. And to get groceries and resupply. And then to the other side of town to get fuel can. And,
yeah. So we're ready to go. Start again tomorrow. Yeah. And we really appreciate you watching our channel and, the interest you have in seeing us on our hike. Yeah. So thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. Any last words, my love?
No, just thanks for watching. We appreciate you guys' taking the time to see what we're doing. And I'll get back home. Miss ya.